Hi, this is Steve Gladis, and I work a lot with teams, and have found that with teams there are excessive meetings, and really, to be honest with you, most meetings suck. At least that's my term for it. And so what I decided to do was write an article, and I published it in SHRM, and it's a pretty good piece. And I asked some podcasters to take a look at it. And here's what the podcasters said. And I hope you enjoy it. It's about how to make meetings not suck so bad.
Ever get that sinking feeling when a meeting pops up on your calendar?
Oh, tell me about it.
Like you just know it's going to be a total productivity killer.
Yeah, you walk in and you can practically feel the brain cells saying, nope, not today.
And the worst part, it's not just us, right? This meeting madness is a real problem for businesses.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge drain on resources. And don't even get me started on the hit to team morale.
So today, we're diving deep into how to not just survive meetings, but actually make them, dare I say, valuable.
Music to my ears.
We're joined by, expert name, and we're taking a look at Steve Gladis's book, Team Meetings That Don't Suck. Catchy, right?
Definitely grabs your attention.
And he doesn't just nail the title, he brings in some serious research.
Oh, yeah. He highlights stats from Microsoft and Lucid meetings that found a whopping 69% of people find meetings unproductive.
69%. It's like most of us would rather be almost anywhere else.
You and me both. And it gets worse. The average person is sitting through a ridiculous number of meetings every week.
Okay, spill the beans, how many we're talking?
Well, for non-managers, it's about 8 meetings a week.
8? That's like a whole workday just on meetings.
And for managers, hold on to your hats. They're averaging 12.
12.
Yeah.
No wonder people feel like they're drowning in meetings.
It's a recipe for burnout, if I've ever seen one.
Okay, so we've established it's a real problem, but the million-dollar question is WHY. Why are so many meetings so epically bad?
Well, it's not just about bad Wi-Fi and people rambling, although that doesn't help.
There's got to be more to it.
Right. Gladis digs into research from Harvard, professors Hackman and Wageman, and they found something really interesting.
Hit me with it.
They say the problem is baked into the structure of most meetings. We're stuck prioritizing the least effective element presentations and giving the least amount of time to the most effective thing, actual collaborative work.
Wait, so we're basically approaching meetings completely backward.
You got it. It's like trying to run a marathon with 2 left shoes.
So why is this collaborative work so powerful?
Because it's about tapping into the collective genius of the team. Instead of one person talking at everyone, it's about everyone engaging, bouncing ideas around, and actually solving problems together.
Okay, so we need to ditch the presentations and embrace the power of teamwork. But how do we actually make that happen?
Well, Gladis points to a concept called action learning. It's rooted in the practices of, get this, Cambridge University. Wait, that Cambridge? As in Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, like the birthplace of countless scientific breakthroughs.
The one and only. Specifically, a department there called the Cavendish Physics Labs.
Okay, now we're talking serious brain power. So what's their secret sauce?
Well, they've produced an astounding 29 Nobel Prize winners.
Wow, 29.
Right, so, they must be doing something right. And a doctoral student named Red Ravens studied their methods and discovered they consistently used focused, open-ended questions to solve problems.
Interesting. So it's less about having all the answers and more about asking the right questions.
Exactly. Action learning takes that principle and applies it to teamwork.
So less showcasing, more questioning. I like it. But how does this actually work in a meeting setting? Imagine this. You've got a small group, maybe 4 to 8 people, and a facilitator or coach to guide the process. The key is creating a safe space where no question is off limits.
Because sometimes those obvious questions can lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
Absolutely. Instead of jumping into presentations, action learning uses stages.
Okay, walk me through it.
First, you clearly define the problem you're tackling. What are we actually trying to solve here?
No more vague agendas.
Right. Then you analyze the current state. How big of a problem is this right now? What's the impact?
Got it. Get a handle on the present, then what?
Then you move to brainstorming possible solutions. And this is where that collaborative magic really happens.
Everyone's throwing out ideas, building on each other's suggestions, no judgment.
Exactly. And finally, you develop a concrete action plan. Who's doing what, by when, and how will you measure success?
This makes those endless PowerPoint presentations seem like a bad dream. But I imagine asking the right questions is essential here.
You nailed it. It's about going deeper than surface-level discussions. For example, instead of asking, how can we increase sales, you might ask, what's the biggest pain point our customers are facing?
It's about uncovering those hidden obstacles and sparking those aha moments.
Yes, and those insights are way more likely to emerge in a collaborative, question-driven environment. But remember, it's not just about transforming individual meetings, it's also about the overall rhythm and flow of how your team works together.
So we've hacked the individual meeting, but now we need to think about the bigger picture.
Right, how do we orchestrate all these meetings into like a well-oiled machine?
Exactly. Tell me more about finding that perfect meeting rhythm.
Well, this is where Gladis brings in the work of Pat Lencioni, another leadership expert.
Oh, I've heard of him. He's all about what he calls organizational health, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
And he argues that a well-defined meeting cadence is key for keeping teams on the same page, focused, really productive.
Makes sense. So how does his approach work?
He proposes a framework with different types of meetings, each with a specific purpose.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So first, you've got your daily check-ins. These should be super quick.
Got it. No hour-long morning meetings. That should have been an email.
Exactly. Just a quick pulse check. Everyone shares their top priorities for the day, and that's it.
Sounds gloriously efficient. What's next?
Then you've got weekly tactical meetings. These are a bit longer, maybe 30 to 45 minutes, tops.
So this is where you dig into the nitty-gritty, the weekly goals and tasks.
Yes. But Lencioni actually advocates for these meetings to be agendaless.
Wait, really? Agendaless? How does that even work?
It sounds crazy, but it's brilliant. Each person shares their top 2 or 3 priorities. Just briefly, no need to go into detail.
Interesting. So it's about getting all the key issues on the table quickly.
Exactly. And then the leader can guide the discussion and decide what needs immediate attention.
It's like a triage for your team's priorities.
Exactly. Now, for those bigger picture goals, you've got your monthly strategic meetings.
So that's where you tackle the long-term vision.
Right. This is a good time to maybe pull out that action learning framework and really dive deep.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing those quarterly offsites are for zooming out even further?
Absolutely. It's all about stepping back, reassessing your goals, and maybe even doing some team building.
This is eye-opening. I feel like we've all been approaching meetings the wrong way.
It doesn't have to be a black hole of wasted time.
We can escape the meeting abyss. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But if our listeners only take away a few key things, what would those be?
Remember, meetings, when done right, can be incredibly valuable. It's about shifting our mindset from seeing them as these horrible obligations to recognizing them as opportunities.
From meeting dread to meeting delight.
Exactly. Be intentional about the structure, the purpose, the cadence of your meetings. Remember those 4 Ps of action learning: problem, present state, possible solutions, and plan?
And don't forget the power of asking those thought-provoking questions.
Absolutely. So as you navigate the meeting-filled waters of your week, remember, you have the power to transform those meetings from time wasters into valuable opportunities.
Yes, opportunities for growth, connection, and achievement.
Well said.
That's a challenge we can all get behind. So listeners, take a look at your calendars for this week. What's one meeting you can transform using these ideas? Let us know. We're dying to hear about your meeting makeovers. And until next time, happy collaborating.